Okay, let's see what we're cooking in the kitchen. I hear it's some seafood today.
Yeah, I said this during the tease. You know, we get a heads up advance of what the recipe is, and I'm excited about this one. This is Kevin Brooks, the chef from the house. Good to have you here on Studio 10.
Good to be here.
And it looks like you got a great spread, a lot of different seasonings and spices that I like, some seafood, which I love. What are we doing here today?
Well, today we're going to make a seared redfish, but the first thing I'm going to show you is how to make grits, which we all think we know, but everybody wants to make them creamy.
Right.
So I'm going to let you know a little secret. If you want creamy grits, add cream. It's rocket science.
Genius.
Right? But something you need to know about your grits is everybody knows, or I assume everybody knows, that rice, you know, is 2 parts water, 1 part rice. Grits, it's 3 to 1.
3 to 1.
3 to 1. If you remember that, you're going to be fine.
Okay.
Whisk the grits as soon as you get them into the water, or you will have 1 clump of grits in the middle, which may look nice on the plate. But and also you want to make sure that you put a nice heavy pinch of salt. I always use kosher salt. Make all your waters for your starches, you want them to taste like the ocean.
Why do you use kosher salt?
Kosher salt has no iodine in it. All right. There's not a goiter problem in the U.S. anymore that I know of, so we don't really need iodine. So it has a cleaner, more salt flavor without being salty, if that makes any sense at all.
Sure.
And the grain it's a much thicker grain, so it pinches better. When you sprinkle it on things, it helps form a better crust. There's lots of reasons. Creole seasoning.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take onion powder, or granulated onion, granulated garlic, black pepper. Now, this is where I go different from the actual recipe I sent y'all, so I'm going to tell you, but it's white pepper.
White pepper, okay.
Now, white pepper has a very pungent aroma. I love it. I use it a lot. If I was to stop here, this would be the house's own house seasoning blend.
Okay.
All right, we use this in our kitchen.
I think I can smell that white pepper.
Yeah, it's got a different smell. And in my kitchen, even at home in the restaurant, I use this almost in place of pepper, period.
I think I'm going to sneeze soon.
You might. We've got dried oregano, dried basil.
There it is.
Dried I love that I made that happen.
There it is.
And then paprika. The amounts are on the website with the recipe I sent you guys, and the white pepper is the same amount as the black pepper or the onion or garlic.
And just so you know, because I was off camera there, I did walk off to the side when I sneezed. I didn't ruin our whole meal here.
Right. Thank you.
Definitely.
So you and this right here you can make up and keep in the pantry for months.
Very good.
It's just really
fantastic seasoning blend there. Now, before we go on to our next segment here, tell us a little bit about the house.
The house is located right in Spring Hill. We are at Old Shell and McGregor in Holiday Place, which Holiday's been there. I actually had a lady in the restaurant who lived there when it was a residence, said they moved from it in 1932.
Wow.
But the house is a little house. That's where the name came from. It's a little house. We've got a bar area. We've got 2 private dining rooms. We've got a beautiful courtyard, wraparound porch. Really something to see. And right in the middle of town to have all of that.
Perfect
awesome.
Location. Can't wait to go check you guys out. Can't wait to see this finished dish. Cherish will be back with you in the kitchen in just a little while. Isn't that right, Cherish? Try not to sneeze when you're in the kitchen.
Welcome back. We are making a wonderful seafood dish today. Sounds so good. Seared redfish with Creole crawfish sauce. We have Chef Kevin Brooks here from the house. New restaurant in Spring Hill, so something new for you to try and a new dish for you to make at home. So, this point, what are we doing? You guys started grits a little bit earlier.
Started grits a little bit earlier. I'm actually going to turn those down just a little. The only thing I've done to the grits that you guys didn't see is I added about ½ cup of heavy cream.
Okay.
All right, you only let them get going first and then add a little bit of heavy cream, whisk it in. That's how you get the creamy grits.
Easy. All right.
Yeah, it's not real hard. All right, I've got a pan heating here. We're going to make the sauce in. So I'm going to put just a little bit of vegetable oil. And I recommend everybody get the squeeze bottles for at home. It makes life so much easier.
Much easier than those bottles where it gets everywhere. We've all been there, right? It's all over the counter.
You're trying to pour a tablespoon and there's a cup.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to cut up some green onions right now. Now, you can cut them however you want. I cut them on this hard bias that gives them this pretty look.
Yeah.
If you're not good with a knife, You can just go straight across. It's going to taste the same. It'll just look different.
Yeah.
Turn your fingers back like this. And get them out of the way and keep your thumb back, and the knife will just ride, and I can even look at you while I cut. I don't have to worry about cutting.
You're scaring
anything.
me just a little bit, I'll be honest.
It's no problem. As so long as you keep the knife riding on your fingers,
Okay.
you will not hurt yourself.
Good trick there.
Yeah, we want everybody to be safe. I'm going to throw
Of
the big
course.
pieces away. Now, we've got the oil getting hot, and I'm just going to add the green onions. And I've got some I already did here. It uses a lot of green onion, but green onion's real mild. Use the green and the white.
Okay.
A lot of people will throw the white part away. Well, that's actually where the flavor is. The green part just looks pretty.
Yeah.
So,
Good talk.
we'll do some of our chefy stuff here and toss that around. Now, I'm going to put some of our Creole seasoning we made earlier in here. And I think the recipe calls for a couple of tablespoons. I eyeball it. I've made this about 1,000 times.
Okay.
And we're going to let that just saute around a little bit.
All
Use
right.
my fish spatula here. And then we're going to add some heavy cream and let this start to just cook for a little bit. That's 2 cups of heavy cream. And
It's going to be a creamy dish. With
it is a very
grits
creamy
and-
dish, right?
Okay.
Look, I'm your chef. I'm not your cardiologist.
It's going to be one of those things where you have to spoil yourself every now and then.
All
and this
things
is
in
one of those
moderation.
dishes.
That's right.
And you have, when you go to the house, you have some indulgences on the menu,
We do.
but also some healthy things
Right.
too.
We have some vegetarian items. We have very healthy items. We have very heavy items. We have a little bit of everything. So, but it's just a fun place to come, have a glass of wine, have a beer, watch the game. Been watching the World Cup a lot lately. Had a lot of people in for that.
And you knew what you wanted on your menu, some of the items, before you even opened your restaurant, before you even knew where it was going to be. What were some of the things you just concrete, this has got to be on it?
I knew there was going to be a great roasted chicken, and we have a half roast chicken that's out of this world. Also, nobody puts a pork chop on unless they're doing it kind of on the value menu and they're a little thin. I do a pork chop that's 2 inches thick.
Oh.
That weighs about 18 ounces.
Okay.
All right, and it is out of this world. We have a couple of steaks, we have seafood, but we've got a great burger, po' boys. I've got a sausage cheeseburger that everybody needs to try. And everybody's grinding up sausage and putting it in the meat. We just split the sausage, grill it, and put it on top. So you got the 8-ounce cheeseburger with a big old piece of sausage on top. It's delicious.
Sounds really good. And you do brunch on Sundays, right?
Brunch on Sundays, 11 to 2, and that is typical brunch fare. We do eggs Benedict, crab cakes Benedict, omelets of however you want them, corned beef hash with corned beef we make at the restaurant. We don't buy our corned beef already done, we make it. And that's kind of what I decided we were going to do different this time with this restaurant that not a lot of people do, is we make everything.
Yeah.
We just make everything we can make. We make every salad dressing. We make our own roast beef for the French dip. We make
that's
as
good.
much
Fresh.
as we can.
You know
right.
it's fresh. And so you want to try a new restaurant. Here you go, the house. It's in Spring Hill. It's right off Old Show Road. Holiday Place, little holiday shopping center. And there it is. It's right at the end. You can't miss it when you go in. Sunday brunch, open the rest of the week for lunch and dinner.
Right.
Go by, check it out, and get this recipe on our Studio 10 page on fox10tv.com.
Back in the kitchen with Chef Kevin from the house, working on some awesome stuff today. Can't wait to try that out. For the folks just tuning in, Kevin, tell them what you've done so far today.
All right, here's what we've done. We've made a Creole seasoning mix. Then we've taken that and used it to season our fish. All right.
Which
I was
looks
doing,
awesome.
Yeah, I was doing that when I was talking with Cherish. It's just kosher salt and our seasoning blend that we made. Then I took and made the grits right here. Now, if you're going to have your grits sit, 2 little tricks you can use. You can either put a little bit of milk over top. It'll keep the skin from forming. Or if you have a butter wrapper that you haven't used, or that you've used all the butter, you've got the wrapper, save it. But we're going to take our grits and put the butter wrapper right on top.
Okay.
Saving it does nothing unless I tell you how to use it.
True story.
All right, so we're going to put our grits down. Then we're going to take our redfish. I seared this on the side I wanted to be my presentation side first. Flip it, finish cooking it. I put it in the oven. So we're going to put that over top of the grits. Now our sauce, the only thing I've done since you guys saw it last is just add enough roux to thicken it. Now the recipe tells you how to build the roux in the sauce. I don't do that because we make it We make roux 20 pounds at a time in the restaurant. We always keep it around. And then make sure when you put your crawfish in, you put all that liquid that's in the package with them, and then just right over top. Now,
geez, that looks amazing.
if you want it to look even better, I took the tops of the green onions and I cut them real thin, and I put them in ice water in the freezer, and they curl like this. So if you want it to just look real fancy, you just put some of the green onions cut real thin on top.
And you use that word fancy, so I want to stop you right there because we were talking during the commercial break about what the atmosphere you're trying to create at the house is. Tell the folks what we were talking about.
All right, the house is fine dining food, but in a very relaxed atmosphere. All right, we have, I want you to be able to come in shorts and a t-shirt and a pair of flip-flops. We have people bring their kids on the weekend. If you see the porch there to the right, there's a yard beyond that with a patio. People let the kids run wild in the yard, and that's what I want. Mom and Dad can relax, have a great meal, the kids are entertained. We have a couple of TVs.
But also a good place for dates too. If you do want to get a little dressed up, you have that option as well, but you don't need to come in a suit and tie.
No, absolutely. But if you do come dressed for dinner, the front right room has a chandelier in it. It's a little fancier, and you won't feel out of place.
Awesome. Well, that looks fantastic. We actually got to go to a commercial break, but the recipe's online. That looks great. Going to try it out. And here is Cherish. Not a commercial break, but we got to go to Cherish. Good job today, Kevin.
Thank you.